The English version, a whisper from the mountains for you. Have you ever felt it? A subtle draining, a quiet leak of your life's energy. You give, you listen, you support. And at the end of the day, your own vessel is empty. This is not fate. Carl Jung, a wise observer of the soul, said that the unconscious directs our lives until we make it conscious. Welcome. We are here to walk a path of awareness together. Your peace is a sacred garden. Your energy, the water that feeds it. Your time, the sunlight that makes it grow. There are ways of relating, patterns that can unknowingly poison the soil and drain the well. We will look at these patterns today, not as rules, but as reflections in a still pond. Understanding them is not an act of selfishness. It is the practice of tending to your own soul. Have you felt a line being crossed? Have you felt the weight of a burden that was never yours to carry? Share your journey in the space below. It is a gift to others walking this path. And if this quiet wisdom speaks to your heart, let it flow to others. Join us on this journey of seeing clearly. 1. The mountain that does not carry another storm. You have walked too far on your path, through too many valleys of pain and peaks of awakening. You cannot allow yourself to be pulled back into another storm. For you, this is no longer about survival. It is about the preservation of your spirit. The ancient wisdom of my tradition teaches that growth requires a shedding, a letting go of what no longer feeds the journey. This means you must walk away from those who mistake your flowing compassion for a limitless ocean. They can pollute with their chaos. You are not a lifeline for those who refuse to learn to float. There are souls who will reach for you only when they are drowning, yet never seek to understand the water. They seek comfort, not transformation. They seek an escape, not a path. And their comfort is purchased with your stillness, your focus, your light. When you constantly pull others from the river, you abandon the ground on which you stand. It is not coldness to step back. It is the deepest form of self-honor. Some will not ask for your energy directly. They will use the hook of guilt. They will speak of loyalty, of debt, of the past. But guilt is a fog that clouds the path. As the wise Jung taught, people will project their unhealed shadows onto you, then demand that you bring light to a darkness that is not yours. The moment connection feels like a chain, it is no longer connection. It is control, and control is the opposite of flow. Then there are those who value not your presence, but your availability. They want your time, but not your truth. They want your function, but not your soul. Your yes becomes expected and therefore unseen. Your time is a sacred vessel. Every drop you give to those who drain you is a drop stolen from your own garden. Choose the stillness of silence over the noise of shallow exchange. You owe no one an explanation for honoring the sanctity of your own energy. Perhaps the most dangerous shadow is the expectation that you dim your light so another can feel comfortable in their darkness, that you quiet your joy so they can feel at ease in their sorrow. Your happiness is not a weapon. Your peace is not an attack. The right travelers on this path will not ask you to choose between their hand and your own heart. They will not ask you to remain still so they can avoid moving. They grow beside you like two trees reaching for the same sun. Wisdom is learning when to walk away, not with a bitter heart, but with a clear understanding. Your energy is your temple. You were not born to carry the rubble of everyone else's unhealed past. You were born to build yourself whole and strong. This requires boundaries like clean fences, clarity like pure water, and courage like a rooted tree. Are you ready to release the storm that is not yours? Affirm it now. Let your spirit hear it. I release what is not mine to carry. Your journey requires lightness, not burdens. 2. Tending to your own garden first. To say yes to a problem that is not of your own soil may feel noble, like a generous rain. But over time, it makes you the caretaker of another's neglected garden, while your own goes thirsty. A small act of help can grow into a tangled weed of responsibility. You begin carrying a weight you were never meant to lift. And as they feel lighter, you feel the earth beneath you begin to crack. This is not compassion. It is the slow forgetting of self. In many connections, a subtle poison is used. Guilt. They do not ask you to carry their pain. They make you feel you are the only one who can. You are the only one who understands. This phrase is a beautiful cage. It makes you feel responsible for their sun and their rain. But you are not. You were never meant to be the answer to another soul's avoidance of its own journey. This path leads only to the barren land of burnout, to resentment, and a quiet disconnection from your own heart's rhythm. How many times has your own rest been sacrificed for another's crisis? How much of their storm have you absorbed just to keep a false peace? This is not a flow. It is a pattern, and this pattern teaches others that your well is bottomless. Carl Jung knew this truth. You are what you do, not what you say you will do. And if your practice is to pour yourself for others, you begin to live their life, not your own. Modern ways glorify this ride or die story, but at what cost? If showing up for another always means walking away from yourself, the path is unbalanced, and an unbalanced connection is a form of bondage. Your own body holds this wisdom. The fatigue, the tension, the feeling of being off. These are not enemies, they are messengers. They are telling you that your life force is being spent in a garden that is not yours. The cure is not to give more, it is to return. When you refuse to carry what is not yours, you are not being unkind. You are practicing energetic integrity. You are clearing the land for your own seeds to grow. A no from a place of clarity is a beautiful thing. It tells the universe that your temple is no longer a place for the clutter of others. It tells your own soul that it is worthy of being preserved. And when you begin to protect this energy as sacred, which it is, everything shifts. Those who stayed only for the water you gave will wander away, and those who honor your garden will remain. That is how the healing path reveals itself. Are you ready to stop carrying what was never yours? If so, let this be your inner vow. I release what is not mine. Protect your peace. Reclaim your flow. 3. The river of false debt. To lend from a place of guilt is to set a trap for your own spirit. It begins as a small trickle, a gesture of kindness. But soon, the riverbed of expectation is carved. The need does not grow, the demand does. What you saw as a flowing gift becomes a stone contract you never agreed to. This trap is often set by those closest to the heart, family, old friends. They know the soft earth of your heart and how to press their weight upon it. To say no is suddenly not about money. It is twisted into a question of your worthiness, your loyalty, your goodness. The fog of guilt rolls in, a chain disguised as a ribbon of love. But true compassion does not spring from an empty well. It does not demand that you abandon your own shelter to rescue another from a storm of their own making. When the request is repeated, when there is no change, no accountability, it is rarely about the coin. It is about access to your energy, your time, your sense of obligation. It is a dance of manipulation, the silent threat of a downcast face, the stories spun from drama, the subtle whispers of debts from a distant past. These are not requests. They are demands without words. Jung observed that a soul will do the most absurd things to avoid looking at itself. This includes offloading its responsibilities onto a heart too compassionate to say no. When you lend from guilt, you are not giving currency. You are enabling avoidance. You allow another to stand still while you carry their burden, and that burden grows within you. A silent weight in your spirit, your mind. It begins to steal your sleep, your focus. A quiet resentment begins to sprout. And then, the moment of truth, you finally say no, and the mask falls. You are called selfish, cold, because you have broken the unwritten contract. You have removed the source of ease. A soul that depended on your guilt does not welcome your freedom. They lash out not because you are wrong, but because you are no longer serving their pattern. But your life force is not currency for emotional debts. Your life is not a rescue mission for those unwilling to begin their own journey. True connection honors boundaries. True love respects mutual flow. If a connection is nourishing only when you say yes, it is a performance, not a truth. Protect your stillness. Say no without a story. And remember this distinction: helping another does not mean saving them. You can offer a branch from the riverbank without surrendering your own ground. You can care deeply and still walk away, because your energy is sacred. Your stability is not a thing to be traded for approval, and your peace is worth more than anyone's temporary comfort. If this wisdom resonates, repeat this within your heart. I protect my peace. I honor my boundaries. I release the guilt of no. Let this be a declaration of inner freedom. 4. The tangled forest of kin. Sometimes, the greatest practice of love is to refuse to enter another's war, especially when that war is fought in the tangled forest of family, a forest thick with disputes over inheritance, with the thorny roots of childhood resentment, with toxic loyalties passed down like ancient shadows. You are not here to be the treaty for those committed to misunderstanding. You are not the healer of wounds you did not create. A wise teacher, Carl Jung, once noted that the unlived lives of parents often become the silent burdens of their children. In many families, this burden appears as emotional blackmail wearing the costume of duty. You are asked to mend what others have broken, to carry the weight of a lineage's dysfunction simply because you were born into it. But the name, family, does not make a burden yours to repair. When you are asked to take a side in a fight that is not yours, the true request is for you to sacrifice your clarity for their chaos. It is disguised as a plea for aid. Just speak to them for me. Or, you are the one they will listen to. But this is a hidden path to a thorny grove. It places you at the center of the blame when the fragile peace inevitably shatters. These entanglements do not arrive with gifts of peace. They bring unspoken expectations, twisted allegiances, and the slow erosion of your own ground. The hidden truth is, most do not seek resolution. They seek validation for their pain. And if you offer your presence as a vessel, they will drain your spirit to fill their narrative. You must understand to protect your own peace is not an act of betrayal. It is an act of survival. To stand in neutrality is not heartless. It is the height of wisdom. A love that demands your participation in dysfunction is not love. It is control. You can send warmth from a distance. You can hold hope for their healing and still refuse to be the glue for broken shards. Your energy is a sacred flame. When you let guilt douse that flame, you surrender it to battles that will only produce smoke. To choose distance is not cruelty, it is clarity. Not everyone has earned the right to stand within your fire circle. You need not apologize for refusing to be the messenger, the mediator, or the martyr. In truth, your refusal to play these roles may be the most potent message of all. Some will only begin to look for their own path when the one who always fixed things walks away. You owe no one your inner stillness. Let them misunderstand you. Let them call you selfish. In this, silence is your shield. You are not here to be consumed by inherited pain. You are here to grow, to breathe, to live free from the noise of another's projections. So when you are pulled toward their battlefield, ask your heart, is this my war to fight? If it is not, put it down. Walk away, not in anger, but in wisdom. Because your peace is not a trinket to be handed to those who have not even earned your presence. It is your ground. You have every right to stand on it. If you are ready to stop fixing what was never yours to mend, join others in this understanding. Let us stand together in this quiet strength. 5. The unchanging statue in a flowing river. People may ask you to change who you are, to quiet your rituals, to alter your tone, to abandon the values that form the bedrock of your soul, just so they can be more comfortable. This is not love. It is the art of shaping another into a statue that fits their garden. And when this pressure comes from your own children, the pain strikes a different chord. Many parents carry the false belief that they owe their children their own disappearance. This belief is a shadow, and it is dangerous. You are not meant to dissolve into the roles others give you. You are here to become the truest expression of your own nature. When another soul pressures you to tone it down, the silent message is, I prefer you smaller, I prefer you edited. This is a quiet rejection. It whispers that your way of being, your truth, your very presence is too much. Over time, if you drink this poison, you begin to erase yourself. You second guess the music that once brought you joy. You apologize for your own light. This is not the life you fought to build. There was a woman named Maria. She wore colorful scarves, welcomed the day with folk songs, and guided meditation for her community. Her spirit was a bright tapestry. But her daughter told her she was embarrassing, that she needed to act her age. So Maria stopped. She muted her colors. She silenced her music. She thought she was being a good mother by becoming smaller. Years flowed by. Her energy dimmed. Her spirit drooped. One day, her own reflection was a stranger. Who have I become? She asked. That question was a seed. From it, she chose herself again. She remembered that her uniqueness was not a flaw. It was her life's song. Those who ask you to change have often not accepted their own path. Your presence is a mirror to their own inner stillness. Do not carry their reflection for them. Do not drain your own river, trying to earn their love. You are not here to please, you are here to be. The great teacher, Carl Jung, said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This privilege is sacred. Protect it. Refuse to apologize for your own unfolding. Refuse to accommodate those who only love the memory of you, the version that stayed silent and agreeable. You do not need to shrink to create peace. You do not need to dim your light so others can feel safe in their own shadows. Let them adjust their eyes, or let them walk away. But you must stay whole. If this truth finds a home in your soul, make this silent declaration: I honor who I am, without apology. Let your spirit know you will no longer shrink. Your truth deserves to be seen. 6. Whose joy is it? There is a form of control so subtle it often passes for love. It comes as a soft voice, a concerned sigh, a look of disappointment. The unspoken message is always the same: make me comfortable, even if it costs you your joy. Each time you choose their comfort over your own truth, a small piece of your spirit is given away, a small leak in the vessel. When others expect you to shrink, what they truly want is for you to sacrifice your own unfolding for their convenience. This is not connection. It is control disguised as care. It is emotional blackmail wearing the costume of love. The more you bend, the more you lose the path to your own center. As Jung reminded us, the privilege is to become who you are. But this becoming often requires you to stand in the truth of your light, even when it makes others who are used to your shadow uncomfortable. These are the ones who praise your selflessness, but only when it serves them. They admire your strength, but only until your strength builds a boundary they cannot cross. They want the version of you that is always open, always flowing for them, even when it leaves your own garden dry. When they ask you to place their emotional needs before your own truth, they are asking to control your story. And when you resist, you are called selfish, distant, cold. But to choose your own path is not an act of cruelty. It is the first step of healing. It is reclaiming your sacred space to be a full human, imperfect, complex, and free. You were not born to be the caretaker of another's emotions. You are not here to manage their reactions to your growth. When you shape yourself to please another, you vanish from your own life. This is a quiet death of the soul. When people say, "You've changed," let it not be an accusation you absorb, but a confirmation you celebrate. It means you are in motion. You are flowing. The river is alive. Those who truly travel with you do not ask you to abandon yourself. They do not demand your well-being as a sacrifice for their comfort. They celebrate your unfolding, even when it challenges their own. So, stay away from these subtle poisons. A demand for your silence when your soul must speak. A demand for your guilt when your heart is clear. A demand for your energy when none is returned. A demand for your presence when it costs you your peace. A demand for your joy to be smaller. These are not small things. They are violations of your inner temple. And the more you say yes to them, the more you will live a life that is not your own. You are not selfish for wanting space. You are not wrong for choosing your own heart over another's comfort. In a world that often demands your obedience, your true freedom is found in the refusal to betray your own soul. If this resonates, let it be your mantra. I honor my truth. I will not shrink for the comfort of others. 7. The citadel of peace. Peace is not merely a feeling. It is the natural state of your soul. It is the still water at the bottom of the well. When you protect it, you protect the most sacred part of your being. Yet, this world will constantly test your walls. It will send emissaries who want access to your energy without earning your trust. It will send those who mistake your empathy for a weakness to be used. Peace is your most priceless treasure. Once you understand this, you stop negotiating its price. There will be moments when saying no feels like a storm inside you. You may fear being seen as selfish or cold, but a no that protects your peace is not an act of rejection. It is an act of redirection. It is the highest form of self-respect. Every no to chaos, to guilt, to manipulation is a yes to your own healing, a yes to your own clarity. It is not your task to manage another's interpretation of your boundaries. Your only task is to hold them without apology. Some will never understand your boundaries because they benefited from you having none. They will call your stillness arrogance. They will name your distance betrayal. But the truth is simply, if they do not respect your no, they do not respect you. If their love is only present when you are agreeable and self-sacrificing, then what they love is your function, not your essence. Real connection honors space. Real respect honors a no without punishment. Protecting your peace can look like walking away from a conversation that has turned to smoke. It can mean letting your phone rest in silence. It can mean declining an invitation that comes with invisible strings. It is saying, I choose me, not in bitterness, but in clarity. As the sage Jung said, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. When you look inside and see the exhaustion, the spiritual drain, you owe no one an explanation for realigning your life. When they say, you've changed, understand that growth always looks like distance to those who choose to stand still. Peace requires the letting go of false duties. You are not born to be a savior. Your energy is a currency, and as you heal, you realize not everyone has earned the right to spend it. The next time you are asked for your time, your energy, your silence, pause. Ask your inner self, does this serve my peace? Does this honor my vessel? Does this feel like alignment or a step back into an old storm? If the answer feels heavy, the path is not for you. You do not need to defend your peace. You only need to own it. Let your boundaries be the silent guardians at the gate of your temple, and let your life be a testament to this deep truth. Peace is not found in pleasing others. It is found in loyalty to your own soul. To affirm this, declare it to your inner world, I protect my peace. Let this be your vow, your choice of calm over chaos, of boundaries over burnout. Your energy is sacred. Guard it as if your life depends on it, because it does. And as you become aware of these flows, you will see with new eyes. Sometimes the most powerful act of love for your own soul is simply to walk away. If this wisdom found a home in you, let it grow. Stay wise, stay protected, stay true. 8. Seeing the shadows. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. So said Carl Jung. Have you felt it? A compliment that lands like a cold stone. Words that say one thing, while the energy behind them screams another. This is not paranoia. It is your soul's wisdom, sensing a hidden shadow. Today, we will look into this quiet space. These are not warnings, but invitations to clarity, keys to protecting your sacred space. Have you felt this energy? Share your story. We learn to see in the dark together. Chapter 1. The blade hidden in laughter. When someone close to you consistently wraps cruelty in comedy, know this: it is not affection. It is contempt. Sarcasm, when used as a blade, is a clear sign of a hidden hostility. These are not harmless jokes. They are precise strikes aimed at the softest parts of your spirit. You may laugh with them, but your soul feels a wound it cannot name. I was just joking becomes their shield. But the jokes always land where you are most vulnerable: your dreams, your values, your light. This is not random, it is targeted. Their sarcasm is a way to control the climate of the heart, keeping you off balance without revealing their hand. Jung taught us about the shadow, the parts of us we deny and then see in others. These sarcastic barbs say more about the giver than the receiver. Behind the joke that cuts is a hidden well of envy, insecurity, or resentment. Instead of facing their own darkness, they project it onto your light. Your intuition does not lie. When your spirit shrinks in someone's presence, pay attention. The person who constantly teases may be bleeding their shadow onto you. True connection uplifts. It does not hide daggers in laughter. Chapter 2. The silent redirection of your river. They do not stab you in the back. They build small, almost invisible dams that alter the course of your river. They forget your great moments. When you need a hand, they go silent. When you ask for guidance, they offer advice that subtly steers you towards a smaller, safer stream. It is a quiet sabotage, and it is done with a smile, making you doubt the wisdom of your own waters. They will say, "I meant to be there," or "I just got overwhelmed." But the pattern reveals itself over time. Their actions whisper a truth your soul already hears. They do not truly wish you to flow freely. When you speak of your dreams, their encouragement is lukewarm, a thin mist instead of a nourishing rain. Are you sure you're ready? When you succeed, they minimize it. You were lucky. This is death by 1,000 small dismissals. It is the shadow of their own insecurity trying to tame your power. They don't confront their own stuckness, so they try to stop your flow. This is not always conscious, but it is always dangerous. If you continue to give them your trust, you will find your own river running dry. Chapter 3. The race you never agreed to run. Every time you succeed, a flicker in their eyes, a pause in their voice, a smile that does not reach the heart. Your success is not celebrated, it is measured. Your growth is not a joy to them, it is a challenge to their own sense of self. They are not walking beside you, they are in a silent race against you. They will counter your story of a win with one of their own. They will dim the light in the room just a little, so your glow doesn't seem so bright. This is not friendship. It is a silent competition fueled by the ego. As Jung noted, what irritates us in others can lead us to understand ourselves. Their irritation with your growth reveals their own refusal to grow. Your confidence confronts their insecurity, and because they do not know how to face their own stillness, they compete. You may begin to shrink yourself to keep the peace. You may water down your joy so they do not feel so small. But this is not your work to do. Your light is not a threat, it is a mirror. It shows them what they refuse to see in themselves. True friends are not in competition, they are in communion. Chapter 4. Kindness without a soul. Their compliments sound like honey, but they leave a bitter taste. You're amazing, they say, but the words are hollow. There is a disconnect between the word and the energy. This is your intuition, your inner sage, speaking. Carl Jung believed what we do not bring into the light of awareness will rule us from the dark. This includes the hidden resentment behind a polite smile. True support is felt as warmth. Superficial kindness is like being hugged by a statue. It's cold. You sense the scripted nature of it. They use the right words, but their presence is absent. This is the shadow in action, envy dressed in etiquette. Though they never say a harsh word, their energy drains you. You leave the interaction feeling confused, unsettled. You may notice they only appear when it benefits them. They will praise you in public, but are silent in private. This quiet hatred, masked by politeness, erodes your own trust in yourself. Love never needs a script, it flows. Resentment, however, rehearses every line. When someone's kindness lacks soul, pay attention. Energy does not lie, words can. Chapter 5. Control dressed as care. Their advice sounds like wisdom, but the outcome is always the same. Your dreams become smaller. They express concern for your well-being, but you are always left feeling discouraged. This is not love. This is control wearing the mask of protection. Jung believed those who cannot manage their own inner chaos will seek to control the outer world. Their own fear leaks out, not in anger, but in soft-spoken warnings. That's a risk, they say. What if you fail? They push you towards comfort, never freedom. The hidden message is, do not change. Because your evolution threatens the world, they know how to navigate. A mother tells you to be grateful for a job you hate. A partner tells you there's no time for your art, and you are left wondering if your own desires are selfish. This is how you are scripted. You begin to believe that growing is dangerous, but real love will never cage you to feel secure. It will not shrink you to avoid its own fear of abandonment. It walks with you into the unknown. True care is not control. It is trust in your light, even when it outshines their own shadow. Chapter 6. Whispers in the shadows. They will not confront you. They will chip away at your spirit with whispers to others. Their words twist your character, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those around you. You feel a shift in the energy of a room, but cannot name the source. This is the silent sabotage of someone who smiles at you while creating a version of you that serves their own insecurity. Jung taught that the shadow holds what we reject in ourselves. When a person refuses to face their darkness, it leaks out as manipulation. They create suspicion without leaving a trace. It is your light that exposes their own unhealed wounds. They avoid open conflict because that would require truth. Instead, they poison perception, and you begin to second-guess yourself, to shrink. But what they say about you reveals what they feel about themselves. They frame their criticism as concern. "I'm just worried about her," they say, while undermining your choices. But real care is direct. It protects your name. It does not operate in shadows. To recognize this is not to seek revenge, but to protect your own peace. Chapter 7. Silence in the face of your joy. They smiled when you struggled. But now that you are succeeding, they have grown silent. Their quiet withdrawal is a message. Your growth confronts their own stagnation. Your light has become a threat to their darkness. Your happiness reminds them of what they lack, so they retreat. They grow distant, not because you have changed, but because you have outgrown the role you played in their story. The congratulations are forced. When you share a win, they change the subject. Silence in the moment of your joy is louder than any applause they gave during your pain. Jung believed we distance ourselves from those who remind us of what we could become if we were not afraid. Your success is a mirror they refuse to look into. True friends grow with you. Envious souls simply fade away. They say, "You've changed," as if your evolution is a betrayal. But your progress is not an offense. Their discomfort is not your burden. You do not have to shrink to keep them comfortable. Their silence is their confession. Their distance is their choice, and your continued rise is your truth. Let your joy be loud, even if it makes others quiet. Chapter 8. The body never lies. Their words may be kind, but their body tells a different story. A tight smile, eyes that look away, a stiffness in the posture. The energy is a clear language, one your intuition understands perfectly. The body cannot lie, even when the mouth does. That knot in your gut is not paranoia, it's wisdom. It is your body translating the micro signals of another's hidden resentment. Stiff posture, crossed arms, a delayed response. These are the confessions of the unconscious. When someone consistently reacts to your wins with tension, you are not imagining it. You see it in the forced enthusiasm, the vacancy behind their eyes. Real connection feels like a shared breath. This feels like holding your breath. They are present physically, but their spirit has withdrawn. This silent withholding is painful. It is a quiet sabotage that can make you question your own perception. So, watch the body, feel the energy, trust the space between their words. That is where the truth resides. You are not here to shrink for another's comfort. Pay attention to the unspoken, for it speaks the loudest. Trust what you feel.